Good afternoon, everyone. So this devotional, we are going to be talking about victory for the Christian. That is the topic. Victory for the Christian. So I guess this is, victory for the Christian, everyday life. It isn't the elimination of life's problems. Rather, it is the power to endure with quiet and peaceful assurance that is ours by trusting in His life and love. And it is in this that He is glorified. So we're going to see how do we exalt Christ when we go through difficult challenges. And the main idea here that I'm presenting here is, I think it's really cool. And it's that God's perspective, or how can we know that we have victory as a Christian? Even though, like, in this life we see, there's so many bad things happening, or even within ourselves, we struggle, we try to do good, but sometimes we don't. But how do we know that we have victory? And it's because God's perspective is of a higher dimension than our own. So, as human beings, we always just see the present moment. So, we can't see the future. We're only living now what we see now. Even regarding the past, what we really see is just how we remember the past, just all the memories that are there. So we're really just experiencing the present moment, but just recalling the past at the present moment. But God, He's really awesome because He is the great I am. We've heard Him called that a lot. And this, one way to understand what this means is that He experiences every moment as if it's happening right now to Him. So every moment in the universe, in history, is present to Him always. It's kind of like someone taking a movie reel and then unwinding it and then looking at every frame at the same time. Or someone being able to read all the words of a book at the same time. Except for God, each frame is not just like a picture in a movie, but each frame is the entire universe at any given moment, from the beginning, from the creation, all the way to now and forever. And it's everything spiritual and physical. That's why in the book of John, Jesus was able to say, well, before Abraham was born, I am. So that's kind of crazy. Okay, so let's just go there. Before Abraham was born, before this particular time in the past for them, I am. So he knows Abraham now. For him, it's happening right now. So that's kind of mind-boggling, I think. But if he can do that with the past, surely he has the same ability to do it with us, with our future. With our future. So while we may not see victory right now in the present circumstance, God can, because He is already there. I think that's why when in John chapter 16, verse 33, Jesus said this very comforting statement. He says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. So He knows that we are just limited by what we see right now, what we see in the past, that we can't see the future, that we don't know what's going to happen, that we are stuck in that, right now. But He's, being very, reaching out to us. He's saying, take heart. I know everything's going to be okay, because I have overcome the world. And something that's really nice about this last statement, when He says, I have overcome the world, He actually said that before He got crucified and rose again. So that's just really interesting. But He already knows that because God, and at least the divineness of Him, He knows that it has already been done. Before the creation of the world, the Lamb is already slain. He's already victorious. That's why at this point, even before He went, He can say, I've overcome the world. And then He's comforting us for even though there's trouble in this world. So let's look at one example in the Bible. We don't have to go there. Paul, even though, Saul became Paul, even as he was Paul, at one point he said, "For I do not do the good that I want to, but the evil that I do not want to do, this I keep on doing." So he's like struggling to have victory over this, whatever this thing is. Or with the thorn in his flesh, the way he talked about it, he said, "I pleaded with the Lord 3 times and to take it away from him, but the thorn was still there." But God said to him, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, and hardships, and persecutions, and difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And something that's nice is that the same character, Paul, I guess when he was older, towards the end of his life, he said this thing about himself: "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race, and I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing." So as he's saying that, some things come out to me, and it's that this person who was struggling with these things with the thorn, or wanting to for his fleshly weakness, but what in this passage what he sees is the future victory, the award that God will give him on that day. And what's even nicer is that it says it's not only for him, that it's also to all who have longed for his appearing. So if you want to go to that one, that's 2 Timothy 4:7. So it's not only to him, but it's also to all who have longed for his appearing. So that includes us. So even if we don't see victory right now, from God's perspective, he sees that we are victorious, or that we will be victorious. And then the way this is that we just trust in him, and we just rely on him because he's the one that's transforming us. So at least this devotional is just, is an encouragement that even though things in this world aren't quite perfect, or even we're not perfect, that eventually one day we will be victorious. Because, in the terms of eternity, what we see now, what this life is smaller than a speck compared to eternity, which is this huge thing. So that's what God sees. That's everything in context. So with that is basically all we want to